Have you ever had one of those days where you look at your life, your job, your relationships, and just think, what is wrong with me? Why can't I be more productive? Why aren't I happier? Why does everyone else seem to have it all figured out? If you've ever felt this way, I need you to listen very closely. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're not a failure. But there is something holding you back, and today we're going to figure out what it is and, more importantly, how to break free from it. Let's start with that nagging feeling, that little voice in your head that loves to whisper, "There must be something wrong with me." Where does it come from? We live in a world that constantly bombards us with images and stories of perfection. Social media feeds are filled with highlight reels, perfect vacations, promotions, dream weddings, and flawless bodies. We see entrepreneurs who built empires from their garage, artists who became overnight sensations, and influencers who seem to live a life of constant joy. We're conditioned to see success as the norm and anything less as a personal failing. This creates a culture of constant comparison. We look at our messy, complicated, real lives, and then we look at these curated, polished versions of other people's lives, and we feel like we're falling short. We start to internalize this gap. We don't think, "Wow, their social media looks great." We think, "Why isn't my life like that? I must be doing something wrong." This feeling is so common, yet so isolating. We assume we're the only ones struggling behind the scenes. But the truth is, everyone is dealing with their own challenges. The problem isn't you. It's the impossible standard you're measuring yourself against. So, let's get to the real culprit. What's actually holding you back isn't a fundamental flaw in your character. It's your frame of comparison. Imagine you're running a race. If you spend the entire time looking at the person in first place, despairing at how far ahead they are, you'll feel defeated. You'll be so focused on the gap that your own legs will feel heavier, your breath will get shorter, and you'll want to give up. But what if, instead, you focused on your own race? What if you focused on your own pace, your own breathing, the feeling of your feet hitting the pavement? Suddenly, the race becomes about your own progress, not about beating someone else. Life is the same. When your frame of comparison is everyone else, you're always going to find someone who seems to be doing better. Someone richer, fitter, more successful. It's a game you can never win. This constant upward comparison is a direct pipeline to self-doubt, anxiety, and burnout. You're not giving yourself a fair chance because you're comparing your behind-the-scenes footage to everyone else as highlight reel. The real measure of growth isn't how you stack up against others. It's how you stack up against the person you were yesterday, last week, or last year. That's the only comparison that matters. This brings us to a crucial point about self-doubt. Many of us believe that self-doubt is just part of our personality. We think, "I'm just not a confident person." But what if I told you self-doubt isn't your nature, it's a habit? Think about it. A habit is a pattern of behavior repeated so often that it becomes automatic. Every time you compare yourself and feel inadequate, you're reinforcing the habit of self-doubt. Every time you dismiss a compliment or focus on a mistake, you're casting another vote for the belief that you're not good enough. The brain creates neural pathways for our most repeated thoughts. The more you walk down the path of self-criticism, the wider and more well-trodden that path becomes. It becomes your default setting. The good news is that habits can be changed. You can consciously choose to forge new paths. you can start a new habit, the habit of self-compassion. Instead of automatically criticizing yourself, you can pause and intentionally offer yourself a kind word. Instead of dwelling on a failure, you can acknowledge it, learn from it, and remind yourself that it doesn't define you. It feels unnatural at first, like walking through thick undergrowth. But with practice, you can build a new superhighway of self-belief in your brain. Self-doubt isn't who you are. It's just something you've been practicing. And you can start practicing something new today. Now, let's talk about motivation. I hear this all the time. I used to be so motivated, but now I just can't get myself to do anything. What's wrong with me? Again, nothing is wrong with you. Your motivation isn't gone. You're just exhausted. You're exhausted from pushing yourself too hard, from constantly trying to live up to an impossible standard, and from the mental and emotional toll of relentless self-criticism. Think of your motivation like a muscle. If you go to the gym and lift the heaviest weights possible every single day without rest, you're not going to get stronger. You're going to get injured. You will be so sore and tired that you won't even be able to lift the lightest weight. Your mind works the same way. When you're constantly pushing, striving, and berating yourself for not doing more, you're not fueling your motivation. You're burning it out. That feeling of being unmotivated is often just your body and mind screaming for a break. It's a protective mechanism. It's your system saying, I can't operate under this much pressure anymore. The problem isn't a lack of drive. It's a lack of sustainable energy management. You've been running on adrenaline and self-criticism, and that fuel tank is now empty. The solution isn't to push harder. It's to learn how to refuel. So, what should you do differently? How do we break this cycle? It all comes down to a few key shifts in your approach. First, you need to change your frame of comparison. Make a conscious effort to unfollow social media accounts that make you feel inadequate. When you catch yourself comparing, gently stop and redirect your focus. Instead of looking outward, look inward. Ask yourself, what is one small step I can take today to be a little better than I was yesterday? Celebrate your own tiny victories. Did you get out of bed when you wanted to? Awesome. Did you drink a glass of water? Great. Start small and build momentum. The goal is progress, not perfection. Second, start practicing active self-compassion. Treat yourself the way you would treat a good friend who is struggling. You wouldn't tell your friend they're a lazy failure, would you? No, you'd offer them support, encouragement, and a listening ear. Do that for yourself. When the inner critic starts yelling, talk back to it. Say, thank you for your concern, but I'm doing my best, and that is enough. Write down 3 things you did well at the end of each day, no matter how small. This isn't about being arrogant. It's about balancing the scale and countering the years of negative self-talk. Third, redefine what productivity and success mean to you. Society's definition is often about hustle, grind, and achievement. But what if success was also about peace of mind? What if productivity included taking a nap when you're tired, or going for a walk to clear your head? Rest is not the opposite of work. It is a vital part of it. Schedule rest and joy into your calendar with the same seriousness you schedule work meetings. Refueling your energy is the most productive thing you can do when you're feeling burnt out. Finally, understand that this is a journey, not a quick fix. There will be days when you fall back into old habits, and that's okay. The goal isn't to never feel self-doubt again. The goal is to recognize it when it appears, understand where it comes from, and choose not to let it drive your actions. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, with the power to choose which ones you listen to. So remember, there is nothing fundamentally wrong with you. You are a capable, worthy human being who has been struggling under the weight of an unfair system of comparison and self-criticism. It's time to put that weight down. Shift your focus from others to yourself. Practice compassion instead of criticism. Prioritize rest instead of burnout. By doing this, you're not just changing your habits. You're reclaiming your power, your peace, and your authentic self. You've got this. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, please give this video a like and subscribe for more content on living a more intentional life. I'll see you in the next one.